Welcome back to the OKC Foodcast. We are joined today with a special guest, a local celebrity almost. Would you say?
I would say celebrity for sure.
A little bit.
Now a national celebrity after a recent
true.
Food Network appearance. So before we get into telling you who that is, should we tell them who it is?
No, let's introduce you, Nabil.
It's me, Nabil.
Ashley Gardner here. And our special guest this week is, say it,
Corey Harris.
from
Corey
Chef
Harris.
and
Chef
owner.
Corey Harris from Off the
Hook.
Hook. Yes, we are so excited about this.
Glad to be here.
Thank you so much for coming. Oh my gosh, we have so many questions for you. We are really, really excited about this. But before we dive into that, let's talk about our favorite things we ate this week. Nabil, you want to start? Nabil just got back from what I'm assuming it was an amazing off the hook trip to Vegas.
That's the phrase of the episode. Yeah, I just got back from Vegas. Vegas has one of my favorite pizza places.
Pizza, all right.
Yeah, it's called Pizza Rock.
Pizza Rock.
It's downtown on Fremont Street, Old Vegas. So if anyone who's listening likes to go to Vegas, go try this pizza place. Get the Detroit Red Top. Can't go wrong. I mean, all their pizza is really good, but the Detroit Red Top is just such a good pizza.
Detroit Red Top.
Yeah, so it's a cheese pizza. It's in a rectangular pan. It's a little deep. The sides are caramelized with that burnt cheese.
Yeah.
And then they put the red sauce on top of the pizza. It is so good.
So is that all it is?
That's all it is.
And their red sauce is that
That's all- that's
phenomenal?
all you
That's
need.
all they need.
That's all you need.
Wow.
Sounds good.
Yeah. And talk about Vegas and Fremont. Fremont?
Yeah, it was Fremont
Yeah.
Street.
I had been to Vegas several times, and just the last time I went, I finally experienced Fremont Street. And
Really?
that's the way to do it. I had gone to the Bellagio and I don't know, New York, MGM. Staying at Golden Nugget off of Fremont Street was seriously the best time.
So I've never stayed in Old Vegas, Fremont Street. I usually end up staying on the Strip, but I
Yeah.
always make it a point one day for the past few trips to go down to Fremont. It's just a different experience.
That's what
Yeah.
we do every time we go to Vegas. We always stay on the new strip, but we always eat on
Yeah.
the old strip.
Yeah.
It's some of the best food for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be interested to hear what you like to eat in Vegas.
Absolutely.
Vegas is it's like a food mecca, like a small
It
little
is.
place that's got
It's a
so
melting
much great
pot.
food. Yeah,
It's got everything you need, man.
It's got
you know, no matter what side of the world you come from, because there are a lot of people in Vegas that's not from America. So I mean, they
Right.
have a little bit of everything.
Yep.
You can't go wrong. So
And they really bring like the best of the best chefs, from all over the world. It's again a melting pot.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
What was your favorite thing?
My favorite thing. So if you remember, our guest Logan from Edible Excellence, he mentioned Chigama, and there was a debate if
tried
it
it.
was Chigama or Chigama.
Is Chigama?
I asked. Chigama.
Yes.
Yep, you got that right.
I guessed right.
And, you know, I had read many reviews before going, and no one had anything bad to say about the food. And I had a great experience there. It is unbelievable how it hasn't picked up speed. They were very quiet when
Really?
I went. Yeah. And
I mean, it is a weird combination of a fusion. Have you tried Chigama yet?
I've never even heard of it
It
before.
is
This is my first time hearing about it.
Asian Mexican fusion.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Where's this at?
It's going to be off of Memorial, Northside.
Memorial in May.
Memorial May.
Memorial in
yeah.
May.
So it's kind of a newer strip center.
Where?
Is it where the Metro Diner is?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay, I
yes,
know what you're
right
talking
over
about.
there. But everything we had was absolutely incredible. I did try the duck taco that
Okay.
Logan
Yeah.
recommended. Absolutely phenomenal. It had the duck, and he mentioned cranberries, but mine had very thinly sliced green apples, like the Granny Smith apples. We tried so many different things. We had the soup that you mentioned.
Yeah. What'd you think about that?
So it's the hot and sour tortilla soup.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it did not taste anything like hot and sour. It tasted like
A tortilla soup.
a tortilla soup / stew.
It was very stew-like. I got notes of like that hot and sourness at the bottom of it, but
no, I didn't. I loved it.
Yeah,
I
it was
had
good.
No
It was good,
complaints
yeah.
about it, but I did not get the hot and sour flavors. And then we also tried the pork belly steam buns. Also awesome. The Brussels sprouts, the elotus corn.
oh, their corn was really good.
Yeah. And then I would say one of my favorite things was the habanero pineapple margarita. That was awesome. We started off with the pomegranate jalapeno margarita. Delicious.
You like spicy drinks?
Yeah. Yeah. Mixed sweet and spicy. Hell yeah.
I like that in my salsa. I don't know if I like that in
No,
my
I
drinks.
love it in my drinks. You just have to have that perfect balance. Do you like the hot and the sweet and spicy drinks?
I like spice for sure, so I'm willing to try.
You're willing to
anything.
try it. I would recommend it. I used to think I wouldn't like it, but after I tried it, now I'm hooked. I'm off the hook, if you will.
That's funny.
So, what was your favorite thing you ate this week?
The best thing I've eaten this week is a place up in Tulsa called Cicero's. It's a Jamaican, Caribbean inspired place. And they have actually been to Jamaica about 2 years ago. And one of the best things that I ate when I was in Jamaica is something called beef patties. So
Okay.
it's like a pastry that's filled with like ground beef, like a seasoned ground beef. Sometimes they put rice in them. So they had those, and then I had to try some fried plantains and some jerk chicken, and it was amazing. So,
That sounds amazing.
absolutely.
Beef patties are amazing.
I love beef
They're
patties.
so
man.
good.
I want to go back to Vegas. I mean, not Vegas. I'm sorry. I want to go back to Jamaica just to buy up like 20 cases of them and like send them home. So I can
You know,
have it.
they're big in like the Asian countries as well. Beef patties they're so good. Like nice little snack size on the go.
Absolutely.
You can eat it.
I feel like I need this explained to me. Whenever I think beef patty, I think like a
You
hamburger.
think a hamburger patty, exactly.
Yeah. So how is
it's
this
more
different?
this is more like a fried pie, pretty much is what it comes.
Yeah.
That's the best way to explain it.
Okay.
But a lot of them, some people fry them, but for the most part they bake them because it's like kind of like a puff
Right,
pastry
right.
dough type. So. But it is amazing. You can't really explain a beef pie to anybody. You have to
You have to
experience
experience it
a
for
beef
yourself.
pie- beef
Yeah.
patty for sure.
Okay, that sounds awesome. Are there any Jamaican inspired foods here in Oklahoma City?
There
Or
is
restaurants?
one place that I know of. It is on the 23rd and Martin Luther King area of Oklahoma City. It is the only. It's called Carrican Flavors. It's
Okay.
the only Jamaican place that I know of in the city of Oklahoma. There was a food truck called Jamaican Thunder at one point in time, but I don't believe they're still active. So it's
Okay.
really, it's really limited.
Did you like that place?
Which place?
The one off Martin Luther King?
I actually haven't tried it myself,
okay.
so I can't say whether I
Gotcha.
can't say anything about it. But I do plan on trying it because I like oxtails. and they
Yeah.
have-
Oh, I do too.
Yeah, I love oxtails.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm going to have to make a trip to Tulsa since that's the one you have tried. And
Absolutely, it's amazing.
good
I've heard of that.
experience.
My friend went to school in the Caribbean, and he said Cicero's was really good. I haven't tried it myself,
Yeah, it's pretty good.
but need to try that.
Very cool.
So, chef, do you like going by chef? Chef Corey?
Whatever you call me, I'll answer to. You call me Chef Corey. You can. That works for me.
Chef Corey. All right.
All right. So, tell us about yourself.
I am born and raised in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Be 35 years old this year. I've been cooking ever since I was, I'd say, probably about 6-7 years old. I started off cooking ramen noodles. That was one of the only things that my mom was, thought that was comfortable and thought it was safe enough for us as
Right.
kids to cook. You just get a little pot, boil some water, cook your noodles, and then you season it up. But
My parents didn't give me the permission to use a pot and boiling water.
Microwave.
I had to cook my ramen noodles in the microwave. Yeah.
that's funny. So we did a little bit of both, but that is where I first learned how to cook, and of course, trial and error. But that's also where I would say I got my creativity from, because as kids, we would always add a little bit of extra. We might add some butter or some lemon pepper, or some
Right.
scallion, some green onions or something. So kind of played around with a bunch of different stuff. So, but I've been doing it for a long time now. As far as getting paid to do it, I've been doing
Yeah.
it since I was in high school.
Oh, nice.
Just got a passion for it for sure.
Cool. So you'd say your passion began with
Ramen.
noodles.
Absolutely.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, ramen. That's actually one of the first things I cooked as well.
Wow.
Was ramen, because that was the one thing that was easy enough to cook.
Right.
Right. And yeah, it was.
The first thing that my dad was a big cook in my family. The first thing he actually taught me to cook was beans. Like beans, putting some bacon in it.
Wow. That's interesting because that's a long process.
It is. And that's I think that, and it's funny that you say that because I think that is why I love cooking meals that take a long time now, because that was the first thing that I ever learned how to cook, and it takes a long time. It's a long process.
Absolutely.
And you kind of have to babysit it a little bit, and I like that.
I guess that's a good thing to start off with patience while
Right.
cooking.
Right? Absolutely.
That is true.
Because good cooking takes a little bit of time. You probably know that.
Absolutely. It
Yeah.
does.
So, Off the Hook started out as a food truck, right?
Absolutely. We started off as a food truck in 2013. We actually started it was a concessions trailer. And for those who are familiar with the trailer, it kind of looked like an aquarium. It was like a baby blue, real small, had a bunch of fish on it. So a lot of people would call us an aquarium. Exactly.
Okay.
So we started off, the way we got started, myself and my wife at the time, we were approached by a friend that my wife went to school with, and she had a husband that was, I guess he was real good friends with the Thunder player at the time.
Okay.
And this Thunder player, he wanted to come out with his own food truck. So he was kind of, reaching out, trying to see if if there were any chefs out there. And so she kind of brought it to our attention and said, hey, this guy, he's looking to start a food truck. I know you're a chef. I see a lot of your pictures. Would you like to, collaborate on something, or would you be interested? And I said, of course I would be interested. So I was given the opportunity to create a menu based on just what I thought would be good and run it past him. And I did that, and he was very interested in the menu, very interested in the concept. And we were going to go ahead and get it started. And then before we did, he told me, he said, hey, let's wait. It's a possibility that I may be getting traded. It's a rumor that, that I might be getting traded. And I'm like, well, that sucks. And,
Right.
Yeah.
You just built this menu.
Exactly.
Really excited.
Exactly. Got this all planned out. And truth be told, he ended up getting traded. And it was like, okay, well, that sucks. So what do we do now?
Yeah.
So my wife, she was like, well, why don't we just do our own food truck? I wasn't really thinking that it was even possible because I already had a primary job. I'm like, well, we were originally going to do it with his money. Like, we don't have the money to do
That
this.
makes a big
Yeah, yeah.
difference.
Right,
It makes a
exactly.
big difference.
So, we talked about it, and finally we came to an agreement that, hey, why not? I definitely had a lot of people that I knew who I would always post pictures of everything that I cooked, and people would always be like, oh, I want to buy that. I want to buy that. I wish I could buy that. So the good thing about it is I already kind of had a clientele or a fan base, a following,
yeah.
of people who have seen a lot of my dishes and was like, man, that looks amazing. I can't wait to
They're
try
already
some of your
sold.
food. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
That's
that
the
kind
best
of
way to start.
that kind of factored into my decision to go ahead and do our own. And first thing we did was we got on eBay and Craigslist, and we found something that was pretty reasonable. We found a truck that was not even a year old at the time, and some guys had bought it, and two friends, they were both in the military, they had opened it, and it was a Puerto Rican food truck.
Okay.
And neither one of them really knew anything about business or food in general. They were just, trying to get out of the military. And they ended up bumping heads. It didn't work. They lasted about 3 months, and it was like, no, we're getting rid of this. And so I was able to basically buy a brand new trailer for a reasonable price.
Awesome.
So we got it 2013. We got out there and got to work.
Start slinging fish.
Start slinging fish out the trailer, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
So question 1, are you at liberty to tell us what Thunder player this was?
I was going to ask that too.
I am not, simply
Okay.
for privacy reasons.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, that's what I figured.
understand.
Yeah, I have people ask me that all the time. I don't, out of respect for him, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
No worries.
I don't want to put his name out there, and then people's like, yeah, this and that. But one thing I will say is that he was still able to open up a food truck after he was traded.
Oh, good.
That was
Oh,
still
good.
a dream of his. It's funny that he even said himself, like, I'm even willing to take you guys with us to where I get traded and still do it. But, having kids at the time, small kids and stuff, it's like,
Yeah.
nah, that's not really an option.
Your
Thanks
heart's
for the
in
opportunity.
Oklahoma.
Absolutely.
Cool. So when did you kind of graduate from the food truck to your first brick and mortar?
And how hard was that step to take?
Yeah.
Or easy even. It could be easy.
To me, it wasn't really, I won't say a hard decision, because we had so many people, since we first opened, we had so many people said, man, you guys really need to have a building so I'm getting tired of chasing this truck around. I'm getting tired of jumping online, trying to find your
Right.
schedule, seeing where you're going to be this week. It's like, you guys need to get stationary, and we heard that forever, and we just kind of blew it off.
Now, when you had the food truck, did you post up somewhere new every day? Or like, were you open 7 days a week?
We pretty much were working like 6 days a week,
Okay.
some days 2 events a day.
Yeah.
But what we would do when we first opened up, we were just kind of park in random places, and we would have to like beg people to let us park in their parking spots and this and that. And it was a little rough at first, but it got to a point to where, people would just be like, no. So we was like really trying to find places to park, and it was hard. But as our name grew and as our following grew, we would have those same people contacting us like, hey, everybody's telling us we need to have you over here. It was like, oh no, we're booked. Because we
that's a good spot to be.
right, exactly. We finally got busy to where we were turning down so many people. So what we love doing is like going to a lot of office buildings where they have a lot of employees but don't have long lunches.
Yeah.
That way, it's more convenient for them to just come outside, grab something to eat, and go back to work than trying to leave and have to
Yeah.
worry about being back on time. So
Makes sense.
So circling back to the brick and mortar, how hard was that to kind of make that crossover?
Or find like the location, because there's
Yeah.
like
There's
a lot of thought that goes into that.
absolutely, we looked at several buildings in the city, and some buildings were nice, but they really didn't make sense as far as the side of town. And some buildings were, good side of town, but the buildings wasn't nice. So not really having a lot of money and not really wanting to get into a lot of debt, we wanted to kind of find something that was turnkey and something that, we really didn't have to put a lot of money into, just more cosmetic than anything. So we were really blessed to find the building right there, and then on Britton and Broadway Extension. It was built as a Starbucks. Starbucks didn't last long. Then after that, it became like a Korean, Mexican infusion type restaurant. I think they lasted maybe about 8 months. So really, nothing has really lasted right there on that corner. So when we were able to get the building, there was already so many other people trying to get it as well. But I say it was, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens on purpose. There's a purpose that we got it, because as soon as we got it, they were telling us how, all these big chains were trying to get it as well. So for a small business to be able to
That's a win.
get it was definitely a win. But we are actually going on our 4-year anniversary there. So
That's awesome.
Yay,
I mean,
congratulations.
we've been really, really, really blessed with the support from the city. But as far as it being easy or hard, I can't say. One thing I will say is that it definitely was a long process. Like, we applied for the building, got the lease and we really didn't even move in till probably almost like a year later. That's how bad. And it wasn't on us. We were dealing with Starbucks who were out in Sacramento, so it was so much that was needing to be done on their end that we couldn't rush them to do it. You know, you can't rush somebody that's in a whole nother coast to do things here. It wasn't a priority to them, so it was that really kind of got us behind on a lot. But once we finally got the keys, once we finally, we got in there and we flipped it pretty fast and we opened pretty fast, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool.
All right, so let's get to the delicious stuff. What inspired that? What that menu inspiration was? What you came up with for the initial food truck?
No,
it wasn't.
It wasn't. The menu I originally came up for him was going to be just 100% Cajun, like everything Cajun, and he something that he liked Cajun food, so that's why I went that route. But with the actual food truck, with my food truck, one thing that I did is I said, okay, I want to do something that hasn't been done, and I've originally, I like to barbecue. So originally I was thinking of barbecue truck, but there's already so many barbecue trucks out. It's like it's a lot of barbecue trucks. Now it's a lot of pizza trucks, a lot of taco trucks. I'm like, what is it that hasn't been done yet? And seafood. I've always loved seafood, and I've never been able to go to a truck that actually has seafood. Now, when I say seafood, there's a lot of trucks that, around the city has done fried catfish, this and that, but nobody was doing like lobster and crawfish and, stuff like that. And it's crazy because when I was telling all my family and friends and people I knew about, my concept, everybody was telling me like, nah, I don't think that's a good idea. There's already a stigma of eating off food trucks anyways. And then you want to add seafood like in a landlocked state. Like, I don't think it's, and I was just absorbing it all in, and everybody who told me not to do it, that just motivated me to do it. Because I'm always been that person. If I see 20 people in this line over here, but this line is empty, I'm going in that line. So never been a follower, always been a leader. So, and I'm glad that I did do that because at the time, when we had the food truck, there really wasn't a lot of seafood restaurants in the city. Like there was some that's been here for a while, but it seemed like, I'm not taking credit for it or anything, but there are a ton of seafood places in Oklahoma now. Like they're everywhere.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And they're still coming, and that's good because I feel like we didn't bring that phase to Oklahoma, but we definitely made it a little bit more comfortable for people because we have people to say all the time like, I don't eat seafood, but after trying this dish or something, like I'm willing to try more. So I can say we made it comfortable.
You're expanding one palate at a time.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
For sure.
Absolutely.
I'd have to say seafood is 1,000% top of my list. I'll go for seafood any day.
Yeah, but like you mentioned, like in a landlocked state, seafood isn't on top of people's mind.
Right.
Right. It's something like, oh, I'm not going to get seafood here, but that's not true because you can get things flown in and delivered from everywhere.
Absolutely.
So, but talking about new seafood restaurants, there's one that's opening up, Slapfish.
Yeah, they already opened.
They've opened.
Yeah.
Yep.
I need to go try them because apparently they do some different stuff.
Yeah, they got some. I think they do like a lot lobster rolls. I think I saw like a lobster grilled cheese they do, and lobster tacos, and a bunch of different stuff. So, and then you got a place getting ready to open up soon called Razoo's. It's a big time place out in like Texas and stuff.
Yeah, I've been to Razoo's in Houston.
Yeah,
and
they're coming to Chisholm Creek area. Yeah.
Chisholm Creek, really? That's
Chisholm
surprising.
Creek's getting everything.
Well, the area where it's at in Houston. It's like Stafford. So there's Sugarland, Stafford, and then you're in Houston. And the one in Stafford, like, hasn't been busy for a minute. But they used to be hopping. That's interesting that they're coming.
I actually like Razoo's a lot. I think they are, a lot of people like Pappadeaux. Pappadeaux is big time, but to me, I feel for the price, Razoo's is not really that much of a difference.
Pappadeaux is overpriced.
Yeah, it's definitely pricey.
It is overpriced. I mean, they've got some good stuff.
Absolutely.
But I also like the vibe of Razoo's it's very Cajun and the patio, whereas Pappadeaux is a little bit more
elegant,
upscale.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that'll be interesting to have that in Oklahoma City for sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
So back to your menu. Has it been the same since you opened?
It hasn't been the same since I opened. I've actually had to change a few different things. When we first started, I was really trying to cater to everybody. I was like, wow, one thing I don't want is somebody to come and say, well, I can't eat here for this reason, this reason. So we actually had a bunch of healthy items, like, a couple salads, and I kid you not, I probably wasted more produce just on people not buying salads than anything else. Like, I guess people was like, I didn't come here for a salad. If I wanted a salad, I could have went to, this place or this place. So that was like the first thing that came off my menu, because I'm just like,
Salads.
man, we're just wasting this stuff. Exactly.
Yeah.
So then it's funny because a lot of people don't know anything about poke still. And when I first started my Britain location, I actually had a poke bowl on my menu. And at the time, I don't think people really understood what it was. So it didn't really sell a lot. And that's something I used to do on my food truck as well for special events. I love
I do
tuna
too.
and
I like
poke
poke,
and
yeah.
all
I
that.
do too.
So it didn't work, but now it's a lot of poke restaurants that's out here. So I think people have a better understanding than what it is right now. So those were a couple things I had to take off my menu. And then I think where I went wrong is I wanted everything on my menu that I like as well. And I was like, man, people like this. But what I found out is that I don't have the space to cook all this stuff. So I think we did like chicken wings and, all that. But I'm like, I don't have enough deep fryer space to do this. So
Right.
there was a couple things I had to remove, and then I had to, because it was turnkey. So a lot of the equipment that we have now was the equipment that was in there when we took over. So I pretty much had to create my menu based on what I already had in
Right.
place. So
And I think that's like a really smart way to do it. Be like, what can I cook efficiently?
Yeah.
And get it to people in time. So I
Yeah.
think that's awesome. And like the trimming of the menu, I think is good, because then you can like focus in
right,
and really kill it.
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And something that I've had to deal with myself is, like you said, catering to your customer or catering to yourself at first of what you like. Something that I've had to learn is it's not about me. It's about
Right.
my customers.
Absolutely.
And taking that into consideration when I'm putting paintings on the calendar of what I like versus what my customers are going to like,
Right.
and kind of taking me out of the equation. It's been tough.
That's true. That's true.
So, in your opinion, on your menu, what would you consider the must-try menu option?
If you are looking for seafood, I would say, of course, you come to a seafood restaurant, you should want seafood.
Yeah.
But
What-
surprisingly, a lot of people don't eat seafood, so that's where the seafood and more part of our name comes in
Okay.
place, because we do more than just seafood. But if you're looking for seafood, I encourage you try the melted lobster, which it's pretty much a lobster grilled cheese. It has lobster meat that we season like a Cajun style. Grilled poblano peppers and onions, and we put cheddar jack cheese, melt that, and then we drizzle it with a sriracha mayo on buttered Texas toast bread. It's phenomenal.
I would double that recommendation.
Yeah.
That was
Is that what you
phenomenal.
tried?
Yeah. Yeah, that
Sounds-
melted lobster is so good.
It just
so good.
pull apart cheese.
Melt in your
Just
mouth.
it's amazing.
Oh yeah, the cheese. It was so good. I just ate and I'm getting hungry again.
I haven't eaten. I'm starving now.
So that's definitely a must try if you are into seafood. If you are not into seafood, for my north location, because our menus kind of vary, they're a little different from my south location. But if you're at the north location, we have something called jerk chicken kebabs, and they are amazing. I make a homemade jerk marinade that we marinate the chicken in, and then we also use that same marinade to glaze it when it comes out of the oven. But we grill it on the open flame. It's got squash, zucchini, bell peppers, all on the skewer with the chicken, and it is amazing. And if you're at
Sounds
my
awesome.
south location, we have burgers at my south location because we have a bigger grill. So we have something there called a brunch burger. And
Okay.
what that is a 10-ounce beef patty that we season to perfection. We grill it. We add some cheddar cheese to that, hash browns, smoked sausage, bacon, and then to top it off, we do a fried egg on top of that, however you want
you were
it.
going to say that.
Absolutely. So you can either get it runny, or you can get it cooked hard, and then and then on the bread we do both sides of the bread with the strawberry jam to bring it all together. So
Nice.
when I tell you it's a brunch burger,
That's
it's
a brunch burger.
All right. I'm gonna have to go to both of those now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that was the whole reason, another reason why I wanted to have my menus a little bit different, because you have people who, they may live on the north side, but our north location closes at 4. So with having something different, that may give them more of a reason to say, hey, let's go to the south side and get something different. Because if it was the same, it's like, we can just get that tomorrow when they open, even though they're closed.
So tell us your hours for both locations.
My north location is open Tuesday through Sunday from 11 to 4. A lot of people ask me why I don't stay open later. If you've seen the building, you would realize it's just a really small building. There's not really a lot of growth you can have in such a small building. Not only that, the area that our location is, after hours, is really not a safe place. So I made the decision to not, allow us to be open past 4 for that reason. And, I'd rather my customers be safe, and I don't want any incidents to happen. The store, the store that's since adjacent to us, they've been robbed several times and things like that. So I just said, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But my south location, we are open Tuesday through Thursday from 11 to 8 p.m., Friday, Saturday, 11 to 9 p.m., and then on Sundays, we do close early, so 11 to 4 on Sundays.
Okay.
Close Mondays in both locations.
Yeah. You got to have that Monday break.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I got that Monday break. Like Mondays.
Well, like you said, it's not really a break.
It's not a break at all.
Right.
I often
True.
find myself either up there doing some deep cleaning or doing some inventory or doing, it's a lot. It's a lot that goes on Mondays for me.
True.
So I think you said you like experimenting and you like trying new things.
Absolutely.
How often do you come up with new things that you want to put on the menu or do put on the menu? And is there a secret menu that, since we know you, we can be like, hey, can you whip this up for us?
I'm actually, I actually often get burnt out on my menu simply because I eat it so much.
Right.
So I'm always, trying to figure out what can I eat today that out of the stuff that I have that is different. So I'm always putting together stuff, and then I'll take a picture of it and post it on like my social media and stuff, and people's just like, you are wrong for posting that. I can't buy it. I want to buy it. I'm like, hey, I'm just eating lunch like you guys are eating lunch. The only difference is, it's something different. Like, well, you should do that. So at my north location, when we first started that, I would always do a weekend special because people always want something different. And I used to do it at my south location as well. But as we have gotten busy, it's really kind of hard to try to do something extra on top of everything else you already got going on. And not only that, we have been severely short-staffed here lately. People just don't want to work, and it's crazy because I've heard all the excuses of people why people call in and this and that. But so with being short staffed on top of being busy, it's like you're kind of limited right now. So.
Yeah.
Right. Well, if you ever do have like a secret menu, just hit us up.
I'll tell you what we do have that somebody. This is what we do. Like people will come in, they'll say. Like at my South store, we have we do like a cheeseburger, not just a brunch burger, we do a cheeseburger as well. But I had a guy come in, he's like, hey, how much would you guys charge me to make like a surf and turf burger with like the stuff you put on your melted lobster? And I'm like, I think we can do it for like $5 extra. And he's like, let me get that. So we allow customers to kind of like play around, and somebody might say, hey, can I get an egg added to my melted lobster? I'm like, that sounds interesting, but if you pay for it, why not?
Yeah.
So I won't say we actually have a secret menu, but we do allow customization of different things.
That's awesome.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
So you recently did something really cool with Food Network, the Family Food Showdown.
Absolutely.
I'm so interested to hear about that.
That was a really, really fun experience. We were contacted by the Food Network in regards to coming to LA to be on the show. We had applied for the Great Food Truck Race like years back. So with doing that, we were, I guess, kind of still in their system.
Okay.
So whenever they have new shows, they kind of try to reach out to people that's already in their system. So we were contacted, and they were saying, hey, we really want you guys, to be a part of the show. Are you guys interested? It was like, yeah. So we went through the process, did the Skype interviews, and this past, I want to say November, I was on my way to Denver. I was going to the Browns and Broncos game. I wanted to see Baker Mayfield play. So I was on my way there, and they called and said, hey, we want you guys, to come to LA like right now. I was like, are you serious? Like, like, yeah, we're gonna email you tickets. We want you guys on this show. We're getting ready to start taping. Are you free to come? Tuesday through Saturday. It was like,
dang,
are you serious? So it was like, yeah, this opportunity is better. So we went there.
Sorry, Baker.
It was right. I get to see him eventually, but we went there. It was a fun experience. We got to compete against a really cool Cuban family. It was myself, my wife, and my oldest son. He was 18 at the time. He just turned 19, so he got to be a part of it with us. And it was a 3-on-3 cooking competition, 3 rounds. And safe to say that the Harris family came out on top. So
Yeah.
That is so cool. So you guys won.
yeah, we won 10 grand. 10 grand.
Wow.
It was awesome.
For doing what you love.
Doing what we love. But the funny thing is, people hear 10 grand and they think, oh, that's a lot of money, but they don't realize 10 grand is really nothing. But
Right.
the good thing about it is, that 10 grand is cool, but the amount of money we've made just off of people who saw the show the publicity has been crazy. We had a guy who literally, he flew in from Arizona and he told us, he said, I saw you guys on the show, and I told my wife, it was like, I'm going to go try them. I think he saw the show on Sunday, booked his flight. He was at Off the Hook Tuesday.
Shut
No.
up.
He came and ate dinner with us, and he told us, he said, I'm flying back in the morning. He's like, I came down here just to eat. I was like, are you serious? I couldn't believe it. Like,
Wow.
he
How
booked a
is
flight
that?
just to come and eat, and he was so happy. He wanted to take pictures with us. He bought a
got
shirt from us. We all signed it, and
That's cool.
yeah, it was cool. So, and all of us can't go anywhere now. Like we'll go to like this grocery store and somebody's like, hey, you're such and such. Yeah, my son told me the other day, he was like, I was at Walmart and some lady just stopped me and was like, hey, can I take a picture with you? The older lady was like, hey man, get used to it. So, but
so
it was a really awesome
That's awesome.
experience. I'm glad we got to be a part of it.
That's really cool. So, what can Oklahoma expect from the Harris family in the future? Do you have any more plans of expanding or new concepts or anything like that?
Actually, I am getting ready to be on another food truck. I mean, I'm not food truck. I'm sorry, Food Network show that is set to come out either late this month or early next month. I haven't got the actual date for it, but as soon as I do, I will be letting people know when it comes on, and we'll probably have a watch party at my South location again.
Oh, that's awesome.
As far as expanding with the restaurant side, I'm kind of at a standstill right now because it's really, really busy on both stores. So it's kind of been rough trying to maintain that. Juggling that. So I do see expansion down the road. As of right now, I'm not in a rush, but one thing that I am getting ready to be a part of is I just recently started an edibles company for the medical marijuana industry.
Sweet.
So I am a licensed processor. I have all my license intact. So I am getting ready to come out with some products for some dispensaries in the city. So
Cool.
That's super
Yeah.
cool.
absolutely.
I know our friend Gabe was also dabbling in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like cooking.
Yeah.
Different ingredients? It is exactly cooking, yeah.
It's exactly cooking.
Yeah.
It's just adding a little something different than, what you normally add.
A
but-
little different kind of butter, right?
Absolutely. Call it the magic butter.
That's really exciting.
Absolutely. So that's my next business venture.
So this Food Network show, I'm going to ask you this Liberty question again. You probably can't tell us what it is yet, can you?
I can tell you what it is.
All
It is
right.
called Bike Club, and
Okay.
it's with
Bike
Tyler
Club.
Florence.
Okay. He's the one who did the Great Food Truck Race.
Race.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's him.
Exciting.
Be on the lookout for that.
You
Yeah.
have to let us know. We'll spread the word on our end as well.
Absolutely.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, should we jump into the kitchen sink?
Sure.
Let's do
I
it.
mean, I feel like we've been throwing questions.
I know this is
The whole time,
I mean,
but-
this has been great. I'm loving this. All right, so we're gonna just throw out some more questions, and
These are more rapid fiery.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Let's do it.
First thing that comes to your mind, kind of thing. And then
Yeah.
if we want to talk about it, we can.
Sounds good.
All right. What is your favorite ingredient to showcase?
I would say crab meat. Like I
yeah.
love crab. That's like my favorite seafood of all time for sure.
Okay, I do have an expanding question on that. I love crab. Is there anywhere for the home cook to buy crab at a decent price?
There's a place here in the city called Super Cow Win.
Okay.
It's an Asian market.
Yeah.
They have whole crabs there that you can buy, like the that you can just buy yourself, boil them down, break them down. I would say there's a lot of like seafood markets here as well. They're a little bit more on the pricey end, but the good thing about it is that they have pretty product that's really fresh, and
Okay.
then just for the people that's just looking to go to the grocery store, I would say Sam's Club. They have some nice
Yeah.
crab meat as well, some crab legs. So
Cool.
Nice. What kind of things do you cook at home?
surprisingly, I don't really cook much at home, and the reason why is that I cook so much at work. By the time I'm home, I don't really, I've either eaten at work or we order out. But one thing I will say is when we have like get-togethers and stuff, I love to smoke meat. I love to grill. Like I have a big smoker that's on a trailer that I pull out to different places when we're hanging out, 4th of July and stuff like that. But I love to smoke and grill meats.
Nice.
Cool. I love smoked meat.
Yeah.
Too. What is your favorite snack food?
Vanilla Oreo cookies. Those are my favorite snack food.
I always love that answer
The,
from people.
the golden Oreos?
The golden
I
Oreos.
love those.
Yeah.
Those are good.
I love them. Like I could eat literally a whole pack by myself in one setting. I have to stop myself, especially with a nice cold glass of milk. Thinking about I'm going to eat some when I get home.
Have you tried the new Oreos that are fudge covered?
I haven't.
Like they're like bite-sized Oreos that are fudge covered.
I haven't. And surprisingly, I'm not really a chocolate fan. Like I don't
Up top
like.
right here.
I don't
I'm
like.
really not either.
Yes.
I don't like the chocolate Oreos at all. Like
Yeah.
I'd eat one or two, but then I'd be like, "This is gross." Like
Yeah.
chocolate cake, I'm not a big fan of it. I'm like, blah.
I guess this table here is our division.
I've been venturing out and trying some chocolate, and I think my taste buds are changing where I can eat some chocolate. But my entire life, I have not been a chocolate fan.
But it's weird because I love white chocolate. I don't know what it is about it. Like
I do too.
I can eat white
I do
chocolate
too.
like nothing. But
Just not milk chocolate.
Milk chocolate.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Interesting.
And dark chocolate, no.
I hate
Interesting.
dark
No.
chocolate. That is disgusting. Anybody who eats dark chocolate, something's wrong with you.
Why eat chocolate if you're going to eat dark chocolate?
Right. You might as well just eat cocoa beans if you're going to eat dark chocolate.
If you're lazy and like you said, you do a lot of not necessarily out of laziness, but just burnt out from cooking, what's your go-to place to pick up food?
There's a place called Szechuan Bistro on Memorial and Western.
Yeah.
Yes.
We call them probably 2 or 3 times a week sometimes, and they deliver it to us. So that is one of my
Nice.
most favorite places. There is also one of my favorite places to go and pick up food. There's a place in Midwest City called Tez Wings, Tez Wings, and they are a chicken spot. And actually today they have a food truck as well. They were parked at our Britain location. We allow them to park
cool.
there when we're closed. So if you are in the area on a Monday when they're there, I suggest you try it out. But what it is, it's a Chicago style chicken wings. So they fry them up, and then they have something called mild sauce. It's a sauce that they make. It's like a sweet, savory, spicy type sauce. I can't really call it a barbecue sauce, but it kind of mimics a barbecue sauce. But I don't know what it is, but it's amazing. So they drizzle
mild
that
sauce.
the mild sauce.
Okay.
They drizzle
Alright.
that all over the wings and then the fries, and it's bananas.
I mean, usually if I get wings, I would never stray to the mild. So, so good to know. I'll try that.
Well, the interesting thing about it is even the hot sauce is still called mild sauce. That's just the name of the sauce. So it's
okay.
called mild sauce, but you can get it either regular or spicy.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Right. So
Cool.
that's what I said. I was like, I want some hot sauce. They was like, yeah, it's mild sauce. I was like, no, I want the hot. It's
You
like,
a
yeah, it's
mild one or
No,
mild
what do you keep in the back?
Right, exactly. So, but
So what's the difference between a Chicago style hot wing and an Oklahoma?
Like a buffalo style hot wing?
Or buffalo, yeah.
well, truthfully, it's not a buffalo wing at all, because a buffalo wing is mostly a skinless wing that they toss in like buffalo sauce. This is a breaded wing that they cut. They cut the whole wing and they still leave, like, I don't know if you ever seen a whole chicken wing. Well, of course you have seen a whole chicken wing, but you know how it has the little winglet part on there that
Yeah.
nobody really eats. So they keep that part on like the one part, and then the other part is like the drumstick part. So
Okay.
the flat has the winglet on it, and
Okay.
so they
more meat.
Exactly. That's like my favorite part. But
Yeah.
they fry that. It's they bread it and fry it, and then they drizzle like this sauce on top. It's
The
like
mild.
exactly the mild sauces. And I would say the closest thing that you can probably compare it to would be a barbecue sauce, but it has a very distinctive taste.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
kind of separates it from a barbecue
So you
sauce.
said
but
they're in Midwest City, but their food truck
they're
is
in
at-
Midwest City. They have a location on 10th and Air Depot, right next door to the 7-Eleven. If you're ever in Midwest City, they're closed Sunday. So Monday through Saturday, if you are out that way, I'd highly suggest you stop and just get like a 10-piece. You're going to be mad that you only got 10 piece. I'll get like a 20 or 30 piece for the family. I probably eat 15 of them on the way home. So I'm just driving down the road, just chunking bones out the window. It was amazing.
That's funny.
All right, so don't get the 10, get the 20 or 30.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And if you're
Thank
taking
me
some
later.
home, take some extra.
Absolutely, because you're gonna eat it, because they give it to you in a big like aluminum foil pan, and they put foil on top of it and cut holes to vent it so it won't be soggy. But
You've got those in the back seat.
No, I can't put it in the back seat. I have to put it in my passenger seat where it's closer, so it's sitting there like a kid or something. And I open up a little corner and it's like driving down the street. And I always wear my passenger window down so I can throw it in the grass.
There you go. So you don't hit someone with the wing.
Exactly.
It is.
It's like, well, it's not littering. I'm sure a bird will come and take it.
Yeah, it's natural.
Exactly.
feeding the wildlife.
Exactly.
That's funny.
What country or region that you've been to do you think has the most intriguing food culture?
I would say the Caribbean for sure. I've been to a lot of different places there. I've been to the Bahamas. I just came back from Barbados. Been to Jamaica. Been to a lot of different places.
Mm-hmm.
Barbados was my favorite, but I like the Caribbean, the Caribbeans, because they are seafood heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, the seafood there is amazing. It's phenomenal. I just love seafood. So, but not only that, I love spice. So they have a lot of jerk, and everywhere
Yeah.
you go, they'll have some type of jerk chicken. They have the plantains, the rice and peas. It's just amazing. And when we went to Barbados, my sister got married there this past December. So no, it wasn't even December. That was recently. I'm sorry. This past January, and oh my God, that was some of the best food I've ever had in my
Yeah.
life. Like,
That beautiful wedding too.
yeah, it was
bet.
right on the
Right.
beach,
Yeah.
the water as the backdrop. It was amazing. But they have a place
Dream.
there called Oystings, and every Friday they have like a big fish fry festival. So you have like all these different stalls, all these different places, and they all do fish, and they have like seating area. They have live music. They have people playing live instruments. And you got people from all over this. They're visiting to just they
Yeah.
come there. So it's like a big party. It's amazing.
Did you say they do that every Friday?
Every Friday.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a party
That'd be
every
awesome.
Friday.
It's like my retirement plan.
So if you are ever in Barbados, make sure to check out Oystings Fish Fry.
Oystings.
And make sure you're there for Friday.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. and I guess a follow-up on that question, if you could visit anywhere new in the world to experience their culinary tradition and culture, where would you go?
China. I can't wait to go to China. China's on my bucket list. I am African American, but one of my favorite cuisines has always been Chinese food. Like I love Asian food. I love it with a passion. I love, of course, we talked about ramen being, one of the first things that I've cooked. And if you think of it from an American standpoint, you don't really think of packaged ramen noodle as Asian food. But I mean, truth be told, that's where it came from. Yeah. So that's just our little, fake way to create it and say, hey, you getting a taste of, But I really love like authentic ramen. Like a good friend of mine, Chef Jeff, he's got Goro Ramen over in the Plaza District. Yeah. It is some of the best ramen in the state. There's another one downtown called Tamashi Ramen. They're pretty good as well. They're good friends of mine as well. We just, I try to connect with a lot of people in the culinary industry, but they have some amazing food. I just love it. But I really want to go to China and like eat off the street, and I always see it on like Bazaar Foods, and I'm the type of guy that I'll try like some of the weirdest stuff. I don't think I'll be trying dog or cat or anything like that. I don't think I'm that adventurous, but there are some weird things. Like I probably eat like a spider, a fried spider, and all that stuff.
All the insects, you'll try
exactly.
The insects,
I'll definitely try all that stuff, but I'm gonna stay away from anything that I consider a pet. So.
Yeah. I mean that's reasonable.
But I am going to China. I am. Nice. I am going for sure. I'm going to love it.
I don't know. So I've always wondered if I went there and I saw insect in front of me, right? It's going to look good. It probably smells good. I'm not sure if I would try it yet, or if I'd just be like, whatever, let's just try it. We're here. Yeah. So that's going to be, I won't know that answer until I'm standing there.
Until you're standing there in that moment.
Well, I'll tell you, I've ate a bunch of crazy things. And so some people, it may not be crazy, but rattlesnake, I love rattlesnake. I've eaten bear before. A lot of weird stuff. Hadn't eaten raccoon and possum and stuff like that. I'm country, but I ain't that country. But I would like to try squirrel. Squirrel sounds interesting.
I'm country, and I've had squirrel stew a few times.
It's pretty good.
I mean, I wasn't complaining. I was also young.
That's how I am about rabbit. I love rabbit stew.
Oh, yeah.
I've actually eaten turtle before as well. Turtle's delicious.
I wonder if I have. I feel like my dad, he would sneak some crazy stuff in and just call it stew.
It's like, what is that, Dad? Oh, it's just beaver. Keep eating. What does it taste like? Tastes like chicken, right? Everything tastes like chicken when it's exotic. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say every time. I was like, then what's the difference?
Right, exactly.
That's funny. Okay, so obviously, besides Off the Hook, what's your favorite restaurant in OKC? Or in Oklahoma? Anywhere in Oklahoma.
It's really kind of hard to say because I felt like I've named 3 of my favorites.
You have?
That's Tez Wings, that's Szechuan Bistro, and Goro Ramen. Like those are the 3 places that if I'm hungry and I say I want something special, I'm going. That's the 3 places that I'll go to. As far as steakhouse, I would say Mahogany. That's like my favorite steakhouse. Okay. They have some really, really good sea bass, and their steaks are phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I think those 3. If I had to have a top 3, those would be my 3 for sure.
Nice.
Szechuan Bistro, they have really, really good lamb chops that they call salt and pepper lamb. They are like some of the best lamb chops you'll get in your life. But I always get it medium because the way they cook it, they'll just cook it, well
Too
done.
much,
Exactly, because a lot of people like that. But with me, I'm like, no, if I'm gonna eat lamb, I want it to have a little bit of pink in it for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Agreed.
Nice. Well, I'm going to have to try that. I've eaten at Szechuan Bistro, but not had their lamb chops.
I haven't had the lamb chops either.
When you order it, just say, I want the salt and pepper lamb, cooked medium temperature, and with the side of fried rice, and you'll sleep well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I also have never had the sea bass from Mahogany. I've only had a steak there, but I love sea bass.
Well, we went one time for Valentine's Day, and they had like a pistachio crusted sea bass that was like, I was just like,
awesome.
I would literally, when you eat something, your eyes close.
Yeah, your eyes just rolled back.
Yeah,
thinking about it.
Exactly. It's like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Well, cool. I think that wraps up our questions.
Yeah. So Chef Corey, is there something you want to mention, something that we might have left off while we were talking?
I think we pretty much hit the nail with the hammer on everything. Just make sure that if you are hungry and you want something amazing, out of all those restaurants are named, I gave them a plug, but make sure you get hooked if you don't do anything else.
Right, there you go.
For sure. Yeah, and are you on social media?
We are. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's Off the Hook OKC. If you look that up, you'll find all of that. So we are very active on social media. So
awesome.
Cool. Speaking of social media, check us out at OKC Foodcast. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and if you have a comment about anything we've chatted about, or you just want to give a shout out or a suggestion for a future episode, you can email us at okcfoodcast@gmail.com.
That's right. Or if you want to collaborate,
yeah, for sure.
we're always open to that.
We love collaborations.
Yeah, so until next time, please subscribe to the podcast, tell a friend, spread the word, because food is better with other people. And leave us a rating, write us a review if you feel so inclined. We would really appreciate that.
Yeah. And again, thank you so much for joining us, Chef Corey.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity.
For sure. And
Thank
until
you.
next time, eat well and be happy.